how's this offseason? What are some pitches you've been sort of working on? Is the slider or something you're trying to tinker and just sort of perfect?
Yeah, I think for the benefit of my career and kind of continuing to get better, Coach Yeski and I have picked up a slider and working still on continuing to make it a great pitch. And I think that with the slider, it's going to help out with my fastball. And I think it's been a long journey. I really tried to throw it last year in the spring, and it was a pitch that it doesn't take 2 seconds to figure out. But this offseason, Coach Yeski and I have talked a lot and kind of picked up a pretty good slider that I'm continuing to get better, but I think it's going to be a really good pitch of mine.
Hey, Kade. Obviously an impressive freshman season. You'll be expected to do more for this team this year, I reckon. How have you kind of prepared yourself this offseason to prepare for that?
Yeah, so we have two mental strength kind of coaches that we bring along with the staff, and I think that's been a really big part of my kind of continuing to get better. It's just the mental training and mentally preparing for a long season that we had. I kind of got the experience. I didn't really know what it was like. And 56 games for a regular season, it's a long time. And week by week, continuing to kind of get stronger as the year goes on instead of kind of fading out. So I think that's been a really big goal of mine, to continue to mentally get stronger.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of turnover since last year on the pitching staff side of things. Just how have you guys gone about as, kind of a returner on this roster, about just kind of, learning those new guys, picking them up, and just trying to gel as a core, I guess, this off season?
Yeah, I think Coach Johnson made a point kind of last season that we're going to bring the right kind of guys in, and I think that kind of sets the foundation for a winning team and a championship team. So I think we have a really good foundation of returners coming back that have really set the stone and set the tone of kind of how we're going to go about our business. And props to Jared, guys like that have really stepped up and became captains on this team, and I think everyone looks up to kind of continuing to get better, and I think Jared has done a really good job of that.
What have you seen in the offense so far that, maybe a couple of guys that have stood out to you, or just you like their approaches?
Yeah, I think transfer Daniel Dickinson has been a fun guy to watch this season. I think he's got a unique aspect of kind of the way he plays. He can bunt, he can hit home runs, and he just kind of does everything the right way. So I really like his aggressive nature, and it's fun to watch.
You talked about last season being how long it was, coming out of high school. Where did you learn how to handle that, the length of the season? I mean, anybody around you advise you or kind of get you through that, and the ups and downs and the length of it, just the tiresome?
Yeah, I think Coach Jeski, he's one of my mentors, and I kind of look up to him. Along with all our teammates that I had last year, kind of the guys that went through it before, guys like Holman and Jump and Thatcher, really kind of taught me how it works. And I think at the end of the day, I think experience helps. It's easy once you kind of know how it goes, and it was definitely a long season, but it's nothing I would want to take back for sure.
Kade, with so many new faces at catcher, has any one specific guy, with you specifically, do you have a good rapport with so far early on catching you, or has it kind of been balanced so far? Yeah,
I like all the guys catching me. Honestly, it's good feedback for me, and kind of creating that kind of the bond that pitcher and catcher can really have. So I think just continuing to work with all the catchers, and I think guys like Luis has been a really good dude. He's a senior. He's been through it a couple of times, and continuing to work with him a lot. Guys like Aaron Beatty kind of helping him along with the process of kind of how Thatcher and Holman did for me, just kind of seeing what it's about and showing the experiences of it.
I know there's 3 starters in a weekend rotation, but what does it mean to you guys, the pitchers, to be that Friday night guy if that happens?
Yeah, growing up in Louisiana, it's kind of been my dream, and kind of being the guy that Coach Johnson can go to right out the gate would be, really special. But I think that you got to win every game, and I truly mean that. If I have to close out the Tuesday night game, I'll be ready for it.
Coach mentioned that the freshman pitchers have this kind of unique ability, and I guess they already are very mature, poised. You don't often see that with freshmen, he said. What have you seen from those guys like Kaysen and William and the rest?
Yeah, I think kind of going along with what I said, Coach Johnson's brought the right guys in, and they're really good dudes, and I think that sets the tone for kind of they're capable of being great, and they all have talent. We all know that. That's why they're here. But continuing to kind of move them along with the process and kind of showing them the ways is going to be a really big factor in kind of the generations that kind of move along for here. So.
With this new slider, I assume it's different grip than last year.
Yeah, it's a new grip. I throw a split grip slider.
Okay.
And it's technically called a gyro slider, so it doesn't really move. It just it kind of just spins.
And with this, how important is it to not let this new slider sort of affect the curveball a little bit? Because sometimes you see that where you try to develop one different type of breaking pitch like a slider, and then it affects the stronger breaking pitch. Like, how do you sort of delineate those two things with your approach?
Yeah, so I throw it kind of not necessarily two different slots, but it's kind of like the mindset of it's two different pitches for sure. It's not the same grip, so it's kind of easy to factor and split the two for sure.
Hey, Kate, you guys have obviously been working all summer, all fall. What do these next 3 weeks mean in terms of jockeying for position, starting, and just the excitement of, hey, we're going to play a game in 3 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot, and I think at the same time it's a battle, and people got to win spots at the end of the day, and I think whoever comes out on top, we got depth. I think we got 3 teams that can truly win a national championship, if I had to say so. And so I think that goes to show you the kind of guys that Coach Johnson's brought in, and we'll be ready when the season comes.
I think you were in here when Jay was talking about what that UNC series loss meant to him, and because of the work you guys put in. Do you, as a team, use that as motivation at all, and kind of where you all finished last year, short of the Supers?
Yeah, I think I would be lying if I say I didn't use it as motivation, and it was a tough part in my career, honestly, and got to not be able to play in a super regional, which I've dreamed of. So I think using it as a chip on my shoulder, but definitely moving along. I'm not going to hold it against myself, and I think this season will kind of show that we can bounce back for sure.
Cade, this year's your draft year, actually. How did that sort of affect your? How do you sort of view that heading into this this season, and how did you sort of work through that this offseason?
Yes, sir. I haven't thought about it at all. I'm just continuing to kind of get better and mentally get stronger. And if that time comes, it comes. But I'm looking. I want to be here for 10 years if I could. So honestly, I don't really care about it too much. So thank you. Thank y'all.